is more likely to put a few extra points of strength in. But of course, he does have waveform, and he's not worried about chain stuns. He's just like, you know what, if they do try and gank me, I'll hit morph strength, and then just waveform out of trouble. However, in this lane, this could be relatively annoying for Tidehunter. At the moment, Leshrac is not putting on that much trouble. As they get an early gank on the bottom lane, Broodmother gets taken out. And this is what I was talking about. So that first ward that went down, Crystal Maiden has managed to counter Broodmother's ward, although she has burned one of her own down there as well. Broodmother was possibly trying to get rid of this counter ward here, and it went pear-shaped. So Broodmother still has a counter ward in her inventory. She could try and take this out right now. Now this isn't crippling. This is annoying, but it's not crippling. Of course, Broodmother's one of those heroes who comes back very quickly if you give her any space. So having Broodmother in this situation isn't too bad, because basically they just wanted to sit in this lane. She just needs to leech a little bit of experience. And in the mid game, Tidehunter, Leshrac, Enchantress, and Morphling, they're going to pick up all the slack, start putting on a lot of pressure, and start busting down towers, and basically trying to draw attention away from Broodmother. And once Shakira starts getting forced to move around the map, that's when Moscow 5 is going to strike. Broodmother is going to start getting some farm, and start putting pressure on. This is great from Chen here. Chen has sent a Wildkin over to start harassing Morphling, and for all of his last-hitting power, for all of his tools at his disposal, his escape tools, he just cannot deal with this. In fact, this is if you want to ruin a solo mid's day, this is the best way to do it. Grab yourself a Wildkin and send the Tornado over there to drive them nuts. You see the amount of damage he's taking right now. This is so frustrating, especially when he's more. Sunstrike, will this hit? Not quite. 100 down, 100 health. How much would that done? It would have killed him. That would have killed him had he managed to land that. Fortunately, Morphling predicted and then ran an erratic movement, managing to dodge. That was a nice attempt there from Pamphlet. I'm looking at the farm here at the moment. Morphling is not getting the farm that he wants. At the same time, Invoker is not that far ahead either. But the main deal, of course, is Anti-Mage. And the faster, or the more they can slow down this Ethereal Blade from, the better things will go for Shakira. And they get a second kill on Broodmother there. And I said losing a couple of deaths, or having a couple of deaths here and there wasn't a big deal. But of course, feeding the Anti-Mage over and over is not a great thing. And if Morphling is going to be falling behind like this, and their mid-game will be slowed down somewhat, that could become painful. So what Shakira is doing right now, this is exactly what they want to see. They want to stall this. They want to stall a mid-game and just go draw this out in the late game. Moscow 5, on the other hand, they want to try and strike and put the pressure on the mid-game. It's going to come down this top lane for Moscow 5. How much pressure can they put on here? If they can knock down a couple of early towers and then move that pressure from the top lane to the mid and the bottom lane, that could definitely heat things up. Broodmother, of course, can actually just rotate and go up to top lane if necessary, start spamming webs and spiderlings up there. That is definitely a possibility for them. And now we see Moscow 5 going to put the pressure on up top. Just twist those thumb screws and try and knock down some early towers. We see Leshrac actually not bothering to use Edict yet, oddly enough. There we go. Now Edict's being popped. He was deciding, you know, wondering whether or not he should try and use it. I think he was possibly hoping that they might pop the glyph a little bit early, but as it was, they popped the glyph after he popped the Edict to just try and tank a little bit of extra damage there. It won't matter though, and who will they give the last hit to? The Dire, the Catapult will take that. And it looks like they're going to press for a second one there. The Gush goes down there on Windrunner. She does have Windrunner up though, should be able to escape. Nobody with any lockdown stuns there, and she will walk away from this.
Rush to judgment.
And Morphling now got the bottle up, and I'm just being told that as we see a gank here from Chen. Chen comes in vision, and they pick off the Morphling as he was trying to ferry the bottle. I'm being told the stream has managed to crash again.
Middle tower is under attack.
I'm still getting a solid bit rate, so it's not me. I'm still transmitting. I think it might be a server end issue. I'm just going to talk to Gunrun in a second here, guys. Just watching Moscow 5. They are pushing. One second, guys. I am just going to tell Gunrun and try and get this resolved as quickly as possible. Anybody watching in the Dota TV, I apologise. I'm going to have to do a little bit of juggling here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Trying to put some pressure on there. Alright, so 1 second. I need to yell at Gunrun.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so we'll keep casting the VOD, of course. This will go forward in the VOD, fortunately, so we'll see how things turn out. If the VOD is incomplete, I will record this later, and then I will upload it to Twitch, so don't fret. I will put a VOD up at the very least. We see Broodmother here under a lot of pressure at the moment. It looks like Shakira, they are going to try and put the pressure on their own side, try and respond. They did manage to lose 2 towers. That is, of course, quite painful. Anti-Mage, though, farming solidly here. He's 38 and 10. He is the best, or the most farmed at the moment. And now Broodmother has been spotted out there. Gets hit by Frostbite. It does spot her up for a few seconds. But it looks like she's not too worried. The ports are coming in. We've got a counter-attack here. Leshrac has rocked up to the bottom lane. They might try and pick off the Crystal Main here. I don't think they can get the Anti-Mage. He's going to be a little bit too tough to get. As we see Dread just ducking back there, wasn't able to get into range quick enough. And this is what he wanted, though. He just wanted to save the tower. It's not so much trying to get the kill. They are just trying to make sure the tower doesn't go down. So there is no trade for Shakira. See Shakira, they are hiding off in the corner there. Crystal Maiden currently looks like she's looking for boots. Has saved up a good 500 gold there. Just hoping Broodmother will push down there. They are out of detection, so they're going to have to wait for her to jump in an opportune moment. Broodmother, though, has finished off her soaring. That will allow her to accelerate her farm a little bit better. See Morphling hit level 6. Has actually picked up an early level of Morph. Which, of course, does give him another couple of escape tools. There is a bit of kerfuffle in the jungle, though. Chen trading creeps here with Enchantress, stealing. It's a bit of a thing that happens with Enchantress and Chen. Oh, this is not good, though, for Leshrac. The heals go out, though. Will Leshrac survive? Here comes Windrunner. It's unlikely. Gets the shackle down. Power Shot goes through as well. There's another kill. Windrunner sneaks that one in, though. And now it looks like Broodmother is also coming into fight. But there's not much she can do at this point in time. In fact, Anti-Mage gets hit by a net. We've got Titan. Titan's coming in. He's got Ravage up. Doesn't pop it, though. Good choice. Anti-Mage was the only one in range. And really not worth popping that for. See another port coming in the bottom lane. Who have we got here? Looks like the Shrek has popped back in, and at the moment, Moscow 5 kind of getting drilled here by Shakira. Shakira's early game is going extremely well, and that's even though it's not going to be the end of the world for Moscow 5, they definitely would have preferred to put the pressure on a mid lane. But this goes to the late game for Moscow 5. They can definitely deal. They have got the Morphling, who has managed to recover a little bit. Still not doing as well as Anti-Mage, but hopefully he can recover just enough. At the same time, Anti-Mage is one of those heroes, if he gets an early farm, he's so hard to keep up with. And honestly, it'll be very difficult for Morphling to keep pace. That said, though, early towers are the deal. If they want to catch that Morphling up, the early towers will be a very big deal indeed. In fact, I'm just going to check the GPMs at the moment. It's 1,500. A 1,500 gold advantage. It's not huge. More important is the experience chart, which is in favor of the Radiant side right now. They are continuing to push down in this bottom lane. Look at this spiraling arm here. This is so hard to deal with at the moment. Shakira, they just don't have enough AoE. This may be their undoing because they just cannot clear through this wave. They need Invoker down here. It's one of the downsides of picking Invoker against the Broodmother. He just doesn't have that AoE early on. Although over here we go. Orange porting in. Windrunner coming in. The Power Shot will definitely help things out just a bit. But that tower taking critical damage. Can they knock in the deny there? And they will get the deny. Anti-Mage getting one down there. Wisps have been popped there by Enchantress. Enchantress are backing up. Anti-Mage also blinking out. And no engagement. Ravage still off cooldown. This is why Shakira being a little bit worried. They do not want to get caught out by this. And Moscow 5, even though it looks like they're struggling, it's 4-0. They haven't knocked any hero kills. The tower kills that they're getting are just fine. And look at this Anti-Mage. Not Anti-Mage, rather. Morphling is busy pushing this mid-tower. This is exactly what they want. The split push is happening. I honestly thought Broodmother would be the one off solo pushing by herself. But in this case, they're achieving the same desired result. They're putting a lot of pressure on around the map. They're taking 4 towers at the moment, looking for a 5th. None taken in return. This is exactly the kind of thing that they want. I'm going to try hitting the stream button again. Last time it didn't work.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
They're actually going to go for an early Roshan. Should be easy enough for them to get. At the moment, there is going to be no contest, although Chen may know what's up. They saw them pop past here, so they may suspect something, although at the moment, I don't think they have the team fight potential to actually take this on, especially if Ravage is still up. What are they going to do about this Ravage? The team fight potential at the moment on Shakira is really letting them down. They are getting the pickoffs for the ganks, but it's just not coming together for them in these team fights, and they just cannot have that stand-up battle. They will not engage these stand-up battles. We've seen how defensive they've been. When Moscow 5 are pushing, they're like, you know what, they've won the last 4 confrontations, but it just hasn't worked out for them. It's just like, they know that Ravage, they cannot get near it. And they do not have the AoE to spam, and although that said, Anti-Mage has a lot of money under his belt, and he's getting closer and closer to a Battle Fury. He could quite easily have a 15-minute Battle Fury at the moment. here. They are going to try and get this tower now. Broodmother with the DD is going to be forced to back off, but Enchantress is popping in. I hear a Sunstrike, and it lands on Enchantress. She takes a fair bit of damage, but of course just pops the Wisp, the Nature's Attempt straight away, heals him up, and then we also have, she's actually finished with an Urn as well. Pops the Arcanes as well to develop a mana pool once again, and a blink, early blink for Tide. Okay, so they're going, you know what? If they're not going to force it, if they won't respond, we're going to force these fights. Rather than going straight for something like the, Pipe of Insight, or even, I think they're probably getting the early mech on somebody. The Shrek, no, alright, nobody getting the early mech. They might leave it for Enchantress for later. She did go for an Urn first. They were hoping to get some kills. Urn is definitely great, but the burst heal from mech is also fantastic. See, Broodmother's still working towards her Orchid there, really nowhere, not really that close to it, but she has gone for the early treads as well. I see Enchantress now. Just trying to help Leshrac catch him on experience as well as money. Leshrac's still struggling to hit that level. Get those levels in, he really wants to get his Edict maxed out just so they can push a little bit faster. Plus, of course, the early DPS is fantastic. I've noticed Titan, he has indeed gone for the Anchor Smash build. Morphling now finding himself an Invisibility Rune. Packing that Aegis, saving up now. I assume he's going to go for that shotgun. It just gives him so much teamfight potential in the mid-game. Being able to pick up a hero like Shen is fantastic. Is absolutely... If he can pick off that Shen, that will be utterly crippling for Shakira. They will have no hope of riding out those teamfights. One second, guys. Trying to keep the stream informed. We see Moscow 5 here looking for a smoke gank. If they can get a pick up, they could kill a couple of heroes in mid. That will give them a wide open opportunity to push down this mid tower and take the last, well, basically the last out of tower for Shakira. And see how defensive Shakira has to be at the moment. I really would like to see the blink in, the gush there on Chen. Can they pick him off? They decide, you know what, we don't have, well, they do have vision. And they see a couple of heroes there. Crystal Maiden there as well, decide not to charge in. What they really could do with now, Moscow 5 could do with an early gem. Morphling now charging forward, just clear the creep wave there. The Frostbite being thrown out on Enchantress creep, just going to try and pick that off there. Morphling now throwing down an illusion. But what they could do with this is a gem. If in the next couple of minutes, Moscow 5 pick up a gem, that is going to remove all of this map control that Shakira have, and will make them have to be forced to play extremely defensively. And if Shakira are busy stuck in the base, too scared to leave their base, or even step more than a few meters from the tower, then that will be a very big deal, and it will allow Moscow 5 to get really far ahead in terms of farm. Stream chat is asking me to update them on the score, but I really can't type it in. We'll just have to settle with making the VODs for them later. See Enchantress now working on a bracer there. Has also picked up some more smoke. If they can get those smoke ganks happening, it looks like Tidehunter looking for a gank on him. Didn't quite happen though. Fortunately, he was able to escape. Pops the blink and jumps away. The question is, can we see a big Sunstrike come from Pamphlet here? Although Pamphlet looks like he cannot be, not really bothered trying at the moment. Picks up a Cold Snap as well. Broodmother now. This is what happens when you leave the Broodmother alone. She charges through her jungle, through your jungle, and also the bottom lane, and farms incredibly fast. I'm going to bring up the GPMs at the moment. She's sitting on 385, considering how low she was before. This is a fantastic recovery for her. And Morphling as well. He is currently the most farmed hero, and this just comes down to the fact, even though he's a good 10, 15 CS behind Anti-Mage, just comes down to the fact that he's getting all of those towers. Towers are such a big deal in that early mid game in terms of raising GPM. So they are looking for a gank there on Broodmother. Will it happen? Broodmother, though, realizes there's trouble coming and backs up in time. Though, just popping a Sovereign. They are going to have to sacrifice this tower eventually. That's okay. They've managed to hold off the push for so long from Shakira. This is exactly the kind of early advantage that Moscow 5 won. In fact, we're going to check the GPMs at the moment. 4k gold advantage for Moscow 5. The experience, though, very even. Look, that dead even. At 15 minutes, that is very important. They do not want